in mind, it's 4:30 in the morning. For me, it's 5:30 in the morning.
Okay,
it's gonna be daylight soon.
Yeah. Happy feet.
Happy feet, and you got
Green Lantern.
God.
What the?
I don't know. He said,
How the fuck did you?
because he said avian, and I thought of aviation, and Green
That
Lantern
makes
is what
no
popped
fucking
up.
sense.
No. He's got a point.
Hal, John, Guy Gardner, me. We the big three, the best lanterns to be. Wow, they're really gonna like that. I can't wait to celebrate being the best in the Corps with my friends. Hal's a fucking bum! Guy's a fucking bum! Fuck the big three, you're bum! Hello and welcome to Elephant Power Productions. I'm American Elephant, Comic Kevin, and this is Kev Talks, a series where I talk about what I want to talk about. So now that we're especially closer to release, I keep thinking about the upcoming DCU series, Lanterns. For those who don't know much about it, the series will follow veteran Green Lantern Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler, training new recruit John Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, while investigating a murder mystery in Rushville, Nebraska that, according to James Gunn, at least when this was first announced, culminates in a terrifying discovery that ties into the wider DCU. Other key members of its cast include Kelly MacDonald as Sheriff Carey, Poorna Jagannathan as a nurse named Zoe, Gareth Dillahunt as a conspiracy theorist cowboy named William McCone, Paul Ben-Victor as an alien named Antan, Nicole Ari Parker and J. Alphonse Nicholson as John's parents, Bernadette and John Sr., and Ulrich Thompson as Hal's mentor turned longtime archenemy, Sinestro. The show was also heavily inspired in tone and feel by the crime series True Detective, mainly its critically acclaimed first season, which followed Woody Harrelson's Marty and Matthew McConaughey's Colt, aka Rust, investigating a series of ritualistic murders in the Deep South. And now that we have 2 trailers, I definitely can't stop thinking about this series. Which, as a result, has had me thinking about a particular Green Lantern that we've already seen in the DCU, who is also going to be coming back for this show, and thinking about his brilliance. Rangers, or if you prefer, Lanterns today, I'm going to talk about how Guy Gardner's appearance in Superman was not only a fun time, but was also a genuinely genius way to get the public excited for Green Lantern again without them even knowing it. And afterward, I'll be sharing my many thoughts on Lanterns, because I have had a lot of time to think about this show. But before we go that green, let's go for now with Guy and his stupid bowl cut. In Superman, Guy Gardner is the Green Lantern of the Justice Gang, a superhero team funded by Maxwell Lord and his Lord Tech company.
There's no real clear leadership. I know Guy Gardner likes to think of himself as the leader, but I don't know that we respect that.
At first, the Justice Gang is shown as less sympathetic than Superman when handling certain threats, and Guy Gardner is arguably the biggest jerk. While he seems to be having fun being a hero, or at least getting acclaim for it, when Lex Luthor twists Superman's public perception, and Lois tries to get the Justice Gang's help when Clark is kidnapped, Guy is the least sympathetic of the 3.
What are we gonna do?
About what?
Superman!
You want to break a federally incarcerated prisoner out of jail?
Even Mr. Terrific, who seemed unempathetic as well, isn't acting half as harshly.
I took a vow not to get involved in politics.
Oh, that's part of the vows?
It's implied, yeah.
An implied vow.
I will have you assassinated. I will have...
So I guess you decided to help.
Only because it'll piss off Green Lantern.
However, when Guy, Hawkgirl, and a newly freed Metamorpho decide to get involved with protecting the people of Jaranpur from the Baravian military connected to Luthor, we get treated to a glorious sight. We see Guy Gardner lock the fuck in.
Sorry, kid. Superman couldn't make it. So you got an upgrade.
Oh, this is beautiful.
We also get this great bit afterward where Guy almost dismisses making Metamorpho a Justice Gang member because of his looks, but then he compliments the team's name, which Hawkgirl hates.
Justice Gang!
Not our name! It's just a working name!
Could very well prove to be permanent, though.
Probably not!
Justice Gang.
Nope.
We're not called that.
And Guy just instantly lets him on right away. Perfect. 10 out of 10, no notes. Going into Superman as a casual fan of Guy's from Batman Brave and the Bold, it was fun to see him done so well here and get so many good moments to shine, while also getting to see his bowl cut look even stupider than usual.
That haircut should be against your vows.
That what? I'll have you know 348 chicks say otherwise.
Overall, Guy Gardner was a really fun addition to this film with great characterization, and Nathan Fillion was a fantastic casting choice. The moment I saw saw him announced as Guy and remembered his energy as not just Master Karja in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but Johnny Worthington in Monsters University, I was like, OMG, yes, he is going to do so good with this.
I think James cast him just so that he could make him look stupid with that bowl cut.
And I was right. Guy in general was just a great pick for Green Lantern in this movie. And also a perfect way to get Green Lantern's street credit back. And I will explain why after recapping the cultural zeitgeist of Green Lantern before Superman 2025. A dark story most of you probably know by now, but is worth repeating to fully appreciate this attempt at recovery. During the 2000s and early 2010s, Green Lantern adaptations actually had it okay. On top of multiple cartoons utilizing him and his mythos well, especially the DCAU Justice League series that made Jon Stewart a fan favorite, we also got Green Lantern the animated series. Personally, I never watched it growing up. I remember seeing ads for it, but I was still a big Clone Wars kid at the time, so my autism was very occupied. Still, I heard nothing but good things from other DC fans as I grew up, so I finally binged it back in February, and... holy fuck, this show is actually peak. No, seriously, this is one of the best DC shows I have ever seen. Go watch it. It's great, and I fully regret not watching it sooner. 9 out of 10. I honestly wish I tuned into this as a kid so badly. I know I would have liked this. So, yeah, outside the cancellation of George Miller's Justice League Mortal film, which was going to have the first live-action Jon Stewart, played by Common, the fuck?
That's your lady, Joker.
That's right.
Yeah. Yo, Jake.
Green Lantern's appearances in non-comics media were mostly in a good spot. But then everything changed when the movie industry attacked. On June 17th, 2011, the Green Lantern movie was released, directed by Martin Campbell and starring Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. And it quickly became one of the most hated comic book movies ever made. Now, I haven't seen it as I record this part of the video, but apparently it's almost the exact same plot as Doctor Strange, even down to the mentor-turned-villain credit tease that never got paid off. Yeah, I said it, bitch. So there's gotta be something here, right? Doctor Strange is already one of my favorite MCU movies, so a movie with a similar plot can't be that bad, right? Hey, editing Kevin, what are your thoughts on this movie now that you've presumably seen it? Well, I didn't hate it. I think Green Lantern is okay, and I think it's just okay.
There's definitely better options out there. I'm feeling a C. Middle of the road.
Well, whatever my thoughts, I know for sure this movie did not do well with critics or audiences, and didn't even do well financially. On a budget of $200 million, it only made $237 million, which is technically breaking even, but not enough for a film that was intended by Warner Brothers to be the start of a franchise and a shared film universe for DC heroes. Wait a minute, I just realized something. Angela Bassett is in this movie playing Amanda Waller. Yes, that Amanda Waller. And around the time Green Lantern was in production, they were working on a Green Arrow prison break movie called Escape from Supermax. So was the first team-up movie of this hypothetical universe gonna be a hard-traveling heroes movie? My Christ.
I'm sorry.
And that reception, alongside Ryan Reynolds taking so many shots at his time filming the movie, especially when it came to his often fully CGI lantern suit that was far too ambitious for the time.
And please don't make the super suit green. Or animated.
The movie became a cultural punching bag.
Come on, Sheldon, it'll be fun.
That's what you said about the Green Lantern movie. You were 114 minutes of wrong.
Which would be fine if it wasn't for one unfortunate side effect. The character and world of Green Lantern became a big joke, like Aquaman was for a while. But while Arthur at least got his street credit back with Jason Momoa in the DCEU, every other time they tried to do the same with Green Lantern, it didn't go anywhere. Which sucks, because he was supposed to be one of the DCEU's biggest pillars. Alright, I'm about to hit some of you guys with throwback whiplash. Remember that Dawn of the Justice League special the CW did for the Legends of Tomorrow premiere? Remember when they made this announcement?
We still gotta go to space.
So the Green Lanterns and the Green Lantern Corps will be coming. So that was a fucking lie.
You can say that again. In fact, outside of the 2017 DC intro featuring Hal, that one unnamed lantern in both Justice League cuts, and this picture taken by Zack Snyder with a green screen in his backyard of Wayne T. Carr as a hypothetical Snyder cut Jon Stewart, the character was never used in the DCEU. The only cinematic appearances of a lantern since Justice League have been Jon Stewart in Teen Titans Go to the Movies, Jessica Cruz and Chip in League of Super Pets, though they took some liberties, and Hal Jordan in 3 of the 4 Lego movies, played by Jonah Hill.
Fuck! You almost forgot me, guys.
Oh, did we?
I'm literally a lantern. How did you miss me?
That's my whoops.
Fear not, citizens. I shall ship.
You see a pattern? All of these appearances are in strictly animated material that are also comedies, with at least one joke making fun of Green Lanterns as a whole, or their powers and usefulness.
You want to sit together at the meeting?
I have to go back to Krypton.
Has there been a movie about you?
There was a Green Lantern movie, but we don't talk about that.
Oh my gosh, we're roommates. How crazy is that?
Does anyone have some kryptonite that they could give me?
Now mind you, I think all these movies are really fun and genuinely good or great. And obviously as an animator, I'm not dissing the fact that this is the avenue where Green Lantern continued to shine. However, it also says a lot that while live action media had basically blacklisted appearances of the character and his world at this point, animated movies that were often looked down upon as either just for kids or standard comedies, even by some animation fans, were the only avenue to see big Green Lantern movie adaptations outside of some direct-to-DVD movies, which even then varied heavily in quality or also made jokes at his expense. Play the clip.
Stand back and peep the light show. Green Lantern's got this.
He's already dead.
And live action TV wasn't much better because the character was only teased in Smallville and didn't even get a CW show, even after Arrow randomly tried retconning John Diggle into Jon Stewart for some reason. I didn't watch Arrow, so I couldn't tell ya. Sure, it wasn't all bad, thanks to good cartoons like Young Justice, DC Superhero Girls, and Batman Brave and the Bold, but the idea of Green Lantern being taken seriously in live action was not only out the window, his reputation was firmly beaten into a dead horse of a punchline. Green Lantern, at this point, was viewed as a joke by casual fans.
He wears a ring, and the ring gives him power. So that's a fantasy? I don't know any man who wears a ring who has power.
And this is why Guy Gardner was the perfect choice for Superman. If handled well, Guy Gardner is a character you will want to succeed, but also love when he doesn't. He is a character that nobody wants on their team, kind of like the joke characterization of Hal in the Lego movies, but is not entirely incompetent or without heart. In my opinion, a well-written Guy Gardner makes it so you get to laugh at and with him. You get to see him treated like the dickhead he is when it's deserved, but you also enjoy yourself when he makes the right choice and gets to be the badass he either knows or thinks he is. And that goes extra for Guy in the comics, which, full disclosure, I have not read many comics with Guy Gardner in them, at least not yet. But from the research I've done, it's honestly amazing that Guy Gardner hasn't become a full-on villain. Spoke too soon. He is a jerk, absolutely. But then again, you try not being a jerk when your father is an abusive alcoholic who always favored your older brother. And that brother who you love, despite the favoritism, grew up into a corrupt cop who faked suicide to become a mercenary. And your introduction in the comics is basically in the shadow of another guy who's been here for a while, serving only as his understudy and backup, but then you get replaced as even that by another new guy because you get hit and crippled by a bus. And that's just his origin story. But despite all of that, he still tries to be a genuine hero, and can be when the time is right. Simply put, Guy Gardner is a messy but human character who's more than meets the eye. For better or worse, Guy Gardner being the guy who chooses to do things the hard way almost every time is what makes him a great character. To quote Milagro Reyes, he's the crazy one. And I couldn't be happier about his inclusion in this movie. Just so we're clear though, I don't condone any instance of Guy getting, let's say, handsy with women and... son of a bitch. If I had a nickel for every time a Green Lantern did something inappropriate with a minor, The Superman movie perfectly balanced showing there's more to Guy than meets the eye, and reminding people of how cool or fun Green Lanterns can be, while also leaning into the silliness so casual audiences could still laugh. We see that perfectly with the constructs. Giant oven mitts, a giant baseball bat, giant middle fingers. These are funny, but also cool. This may be hyperbole, but I genuinely think Guy Gardner being the first DCU Lantern we see may have saved the reputation of Green Lantern adaptations, because now we've had a funny guy to ease us out of the dead joke so that we can take this side of the DC universe seriously again. There's already so much I adore about James Gunn's Superman, so it means a lot when I say this is one of my favorite choices that it made. A choice that had me and other fans super excited about the future of DCU Lanterns. But then the show teaser came out and a lot of fans hated it. And then series writer Damon Lindelof made a joke that got taken out of context. And then the trailer got briefly removed at the end of April due to copyright issues over the music used, something that I have never seen before with another comic book media property, which made people think that they took it down because of the backlash for a minute. Did I mention some people hated the new Lantern suit so much they tried to make their own version with AI?
Okay, universe, I get the point.
But now we have a second teaser that people mostly seem to like, so I hope that means you've all chilled out.
Are you ready to be calm now?
Look at the green! God damn it! So, how about that Lanterns teaser? Jokes aside, talk about a mostly successful turnaround. When the first Lanterns teaser came out, to say it got hated was an understatement. That shit got dragged. Many fans, both casual and longtime, were not happy with what was being shown. The shots, while not bad, were nothing super compelling or exciting. Hal's characterization felt wrong to some. There were zero Lantern constructs or visuals outside of one power battery, an ending tease with the ring, and Hal taking flight. The first look at a non-Lord Tech Lantern suit left many fans frustrated, and of course the visuals felt too gritty for many, to a point where it's become a meme that the teaser doesn't even have the color green. While some, myself included, still liked it and figured there were bigger surprises in store, Lanterns going for the prestige HBO TV show approach with its first look was definitely a double-edged sword. Yeah, it may have attracted people who enjoy supposedly higher-brow television, but it accidentally alienated many fans in the process who were expecting something else. It feels like outside of Kyle and Aaron's chemistry and the joke about Chip the Squirrel, very little was broadly liked here. But now we have a second trailer that has basically, quote-unquote, fixed every criticism. I say fixed in quotes because clearly this stuff was planned from the start. Nothing off-world, we got shots of space. Hal's suit looking wrong? Like the design or not, its colors are faded because it's old.
Kinda smells like ass, but I have high hopes still.
And of course,
green. Oh, thank God!
That said, there is still the bit from the first teaser of Hal implying he doesn't talk with the other alien lanterns, so let's go over that.
Have you ever talked with the other lanterns?
I'm the only human, they're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
I was confused by this too, and I still hope he's speaking in a outside of work sense or something, because if not, this means he has no friendship with aliens like Kilowog, who I grew to love in the animated series, which would be stupid and boring, and I'd hate it. However, ignoring the Chip shoutout, I think there is a little more to this exchange than we think. In fact, I have a theory. A film theory! During an Entertainment Weekly interview with showrunner Chris Mundy released at the end of May, it was revealed that the series is going to be told from two different points in time. The Nebraska murder mystery plot will take place in 2016, but then the rest of the show, simply described as something else by Mundy, will take place in 2026. This means that not only will some of this show be taking place just under a decade before the Superman movie, but that, like I predicted, we only saw half of what this show will fully become at first. This also ties back to the True Detective inspiration, as its first season did the same thing, jumping back and forth between the past and present to fully figure out the details of a case. We also learned that before Abensur crashed there was never supposed to be a Green Lantern for Earth in the DCU. And if this exchange takes place before Guy got the ring, and was maybe hit by a bus, it makes sense that Hal would say he's the only human Green Lantern. All of that is fascinating, especially the time-jumping aspect that I'm very excited to see in execution. But now back to my theory for the last big thing confirmed in this interview. Quote from Mundy, "The thing that interests us is this idea that Hal was trained by Sinestro. Hal is training John. in the coaching tree, we're very interested in what gets passed on, what doesn't, how much is human nature. We talked a lot about programming and parenting and training. What did Hal take away from Sinestro that was good or bad? It brings up a lot of interesting worries. So not only does Hal have experience with at least some aliens, but perhaps that means this seemingly dismissive line about other alien lanterns is actually a coping mechanism. One born out of Hal feeling betrayed by his mentor. A sign that maybe he was friends with the other lanterns, but got backstabbed by the one he trusted most, and is now lying about knowing them to keep John away from Oa. Think across the Spider-Verse when Gwen was lying to Miles about the Spider Society to avoid the truth of canon events. Sure, Hal still may work with Oa, but something could have happened with the friends he made along the way. Mind you, everything I just said is only speculation that I can't confirm, but I do feel it is plausible and, if nothing else, compelling. This interview in general was a firm solidifier for me that, yes, the people behind the show know what they're doing, and the teaser was misleading on purpose. Even the True Detective inspiration makes sense when you think about it. As odd as it may sound in isolation to use such a dark, pessimistic TV season as inspiration for Green Lanterns, you know, heroes powered by will and strengthened by hope, I actually see the vision. Despite being so colorful, the Green Lantern mythos has some pretty dark corners. In Blackest Night is part of their oath for a reason. There are threats like the Manhunters, who committed genocide across various planets, leading to the birth of the Red Lanterns, fueled by their burning rage and desire for revenge. There's the infamous Emerald Twilight story, where after Hal Jordan's home, Coast City, is destroyed, he goes mad in his grief, trying to rebuild it with willpower, becoming a villain who kills other lanterns, hoping their rings will make him stronger. There's the Blackest Night event, which shows Black Lanterns, basically zombies, attacking all over the DC universe. And of course, Absolute Green Lantern is a straight-up cosmic horror story, where Abin Sur kinda accidentally brings fear with him as he seeks those without it. Anyway, going back to True Detective Season 1, while not a supernatural murder mystery show beyond some hallucination visuals for Colt, it does have Lovecraftian undertones of despair. On top of the aforementioned detective using his pessimism as a coping mechanism for the loss of his daughter, the killer of Season 1 and their actions are heavily inspired by the horror story The King in Yellow, which actually gets several direct mentions in the series itself. Yes, we're both thinking it. Speaking of horror and yellow, the previously mentioned most famous Green Lantern villain who will be in this show joins another Lantern Corps, weaponizing fear itself. And what does the new trailer have characters asking constantly?
Are you afraid?
Are you afraid?
Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
Are you afraid?
I am now.
Not to mention all the yellow shots, which I quite like visually, as it shows how surrounded by deer? Surrounded by deer? What? Not to mention all the yellow shots in this one, which I quite like, as it visually shows how surrounded by fear and danger Hal and Jordan are. Hal and Jordan? Oh my Not to mention all the yellow shots in this one, which I like as a visual because it showcases Hal and John being surrounded by danger even when they're quote-unquote safe. There. Was that so hard to get out of my mouth? By the way, to any fan artists out there dedicated enough for this idea, King in Yellow Sinestro AU called Searching for a Lantern Corps That Doesn't Exist. You're welcome.
Hey! I'm sorry.
Alright, just to avoid another tangent, let me just rapid fire all the other stuff I wanted to talk about with this show. The TVMA rating is something I'm still not 100% on, but I'm okay with it so long as it just means some realistic angry swearing and a bit of sci-fi violence and gore. And admittedly, I am excited to see Guy Gardner drop a shit ton of F-bombs.
I dropped more F-bombs than I have, I think, in my entire career put together in one scene of Lanterns. Yeah, he really lets loose.
Fuck! Oh!
Many are speculating that Hal is going to die in this series, given some choice words in the teasers.
We both know I do a better job of this than you. You're old, you're tired, and your time is up.
I've been doing this since you were a baby. And the only way you're gonna get this ring is over my dead fucking body.
But whether or not they go through with it, I have no strong opinion on it one way or the other. Much as I like Hal, even now, I'm not gonna lose sleep over an older, more seasoned version of the character getting game-ended. Plus, as some fans have speculated, this could mean he becomes the Spectre after this show, which would be cool to see. And it's a comic book media property, so how permanent is death really? And James Gunn has said that the DCU is gonna be more like Star Wars than Marvel by jumping around the timeline a lot more, so we'll probably at least get some kind of prequel something or other with Hal. And while I'm here, I basically feel the exact same way about the idea of Hal becoming Parallax by the end of the series. I haven't read those comics, so I have no idea if this is a good idea or a bad idea or how they could improve upon it or make it worse. If it happens, it happens, but I just need to see the story and how they execute it. Alright, enough about Hal. What are my expectations for John? While I'm not the deepest fan of his character, I know that Jon Stewart tends to get over-Flanderized or oversimplified as just the military guy, when he's an architect as well and has a lot more going on in the comics than just that military background. So hopefully the show can deliver on that and not just make him a soldier. Even with the colorism conversation that sparked from his casting, I think Aaron Pierre is going to do a great job in this role. And at the very least, I like how they're flipping the Men in Black dynamic on its head, with Hal being the one that doesn't take things 100% seriously, while John is the no-nonsense new recruit. I think that's pretty clever. And he's coming back for Man of Tomorrow now, so that's awesome. Speaking of the DCU's future, here are 3 big things that I would like to see out of it in relation to Lanterns. 1, if the show gets multiple seasons, I hope it, like True Detective, focuses on a different duo of Lanterns each time. People have already recommended human duo ideas like Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner, or Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz, but me personally, I'd love if they could also bring in alien duos or focus on different Lantern Corps. How cool would it be to have a season about Tomar-Re and Kilowog, or a Red Lantern season with Atrocitus and Razor, a Saint Walker and Worth season, a season about Carol and another Star Sapphire, a season about the Sinestro Corps in the style of Maul Shadowlord. That would go hard. Obviously, as a fan of the animated series, I'd love a season with Aya as one of the main characters, but I say go even further than that. Give us a season of the oddballs like Gnort and Ship, or Chassalon and Mogo. Why the hell not? 2, I need to see Guy Gardner and Blue Beetle interact. Him and Jaime have a history in the comics, I love both their actors in the DCU, and I need to see them piss each other off. So I really hope Nathan Fillion is going to be in that Blue Beetle cartoon. Especially with all the lore implications of the Reach and their history with the Lantern Corps, and actually, wait, that would be awesome. What if the mystery in this show ties into the Reach? I mean, it won't, but that'd be awesome. But lastly, 3, I would love to see an adaptation of Far Sector by N.K. Jemisin. I read it for the first time last year on a trip to Chicago, and I really liked it. Thanks to that story, Jo Mullane might be my favorite Green Lantern now. Well, outside Silver the Hedgehog, of course. So not only would I love to see her in the DCU, but I'd also love if they could just take Far Sector and make it a season of Lanterns, as it is also about a bizarre murder with a lot more going on than meets the eye. I also genuinely think you could make a sci-fi open-world video game out of the story, given the world building of its setting. But I'd rather not see one for now until WB Games either stops canceling shit or stops trying to turn their good ideas into Fortnite clones.
Batman Fortnite.
All that said, however, what if Lanterns does suck? What if it's as bad as people predicted it would be off of that first teaser? Well, even if that happens, I'm still gonna be excited. Because not only just Jon Stewart being in Man of Tomorrow prove that we are going to see more of these characters in live action, and they're not just going to disappear from the DCU if one show doesn't work out. Take notes, Marvel. But we're also getting a new animated series, My Adventures with Green Lantern. I'm already excited for this show by way of it being in the same universe as My Adventures with Superman, which I think is fantastic. But I especially like that the main character is going to be Jessica Cruz. Not because I'm a big fan of hers or anything, I only really know her through her animated adaptations at the moment. But then again, I didn't love a version of Hal Jordan until his animated series, so needless to say, I'm expecting to become a bigger fan of hers by the end of the show. She actually just appeared recently in season 3 of My Adventures with Superman, voiced by Alili Cravalho, and she is just adorable so far. I can't wait to see what kind of unique storyline she gets gets... Wait. I just remembered what Jessica Cruz's backstory is. Oh, sweetie, I am so sorry. Even without that, though, I'm still becoming a bigger and bigger Green Lantern fan almost by the day. Whether it's thanks to Guy Gardner and Superman, the cartoons keeping the light of Will alive in dark times, or people who, regardless of what the internet gaslights you into believing, do respect the mythos gaining control over it, the future of Green Lanterns in the DCU or elsewhere may go some odd places, but still looks bright enough to me. I will be watching Lanterns when it comes out, but it isn't yet, so that's gonna do it for this video. I'm American Elephant, call me Kevin, thanks for stopping by Elephant Power Productions. Follow me on all these platforms, check out my animations, subscribe, like, and comment if you want more content like this, and I'll hopefully see you all on the next episode of Kev Talks. Ooh, right, wait, this is probably super obvious, but you wanna know which Lantern Corps is my favorite? In fearful day, in raging night, with strong hearts full, our souls ignite. When all seems lost in the war of light, look to the stars, for hope burns bright. Take care, remember that hope and will are stronger than any evil, and Amandalan Lovu to all of you. Green Lantern fan's corpse is embalmed wearing superhero's costume and magic ring, then propped up in the corner of his funeral. Okay, I definitely can't show that on YouTube.
Nigel, what is the... Green Lanterns! Luckily, your rings don't work on yellow.